G'day friends, Brian here. Today I'd like to show you some of my vinyl LP collection. Now these have been locked up or put in a box for the last probably couple of decades. They haven't been played in a long time. These were mostly collected at probably towards the end of the 80s and the early 90s. Like most people, I made the jump to CD. But unlike a lot of people, I didn't get rid of my vinyl records. They held a lot of sentimental value, and I was just a kid and I spent so much money on them, or a lot of money for me, that I didn't want to get rid of them. So anyway, I've been doing a little bit of research on LPs, and it's incredible some of the money that they're going for these days. I think nostalgia really sells, and it's funny how things go in cycles. But anyway, I'll show you some of my LPs. From about 86, I was a massive INXS fan. So I was lucky enough to see them a few times in concert, and until I discovered heavy metal, they were the bomb. They were the big ones. But I was able to get a fair few of their LPs. Even this Michael Hutchence 12-inch LP from his movie Dogs in Space. I was a big soundtrack fan, so James Bond was I think the first soundtrack I ever bought. Noiseworks to this day still remains one of my favourite albums. I remember being in Brashes in Sydney, and I saw the Venetians play live in Brashes. That's a retail store that's long gone, but had a lot of good memories at that store, and was lucky enough to get this autographed by the Venetians. Does anyone know who they are? This was one of the first LPs I ever bought. I was really stoked at the time because I got a rare blue one, which was pretty cool. This is an amazing album, the Man of Colours album. And one of my favourite artists of all time was, or still is, Billy Joel. And I don't know if you can see it there. There's an Ashwood sticker. They were at 376 Pitt Street for a long time. And if you were a record fan or a comic fan, magazine fan, they were the place to go to for second-hand records. So I paid $10 for that in the late 80s probably, which was a lot of money for me. And I've got a few of his other things. Got a couple of singles there. Got his Piano Man. So a big Billy Joel fan. So these are very cool to have. And I was also a big Eurythmics fan. Now, if you're able to keep if you're able to find the sheet, the lyric sheet, that adds a lot of value to the records, I found. And even more cool is if you can find posters within the LP. So this is the Shabooh Shoobah, one of INXS's very good albums. And this was a poster inside it. Sadly, it's a bit torn at the bottom there, but it's still very cool to have that poster in it. And I've also got the Eurythmics Touch album, once again with a poster inside. So if you're able to, if you're looking at records to buy, it's always a big bonus if firstly the sheet, lyric sheet, sometimes just a single sheet is in there, and also if you're able to pull a rare poster from it. As my taste grew, I got into more heavier stuff. This is a great record here that has a lot of great metal artists on it. Faster Pussycat is one of my favourite bands. It's also a big Bruce Springsteen fan. Once again, Ashwoods. Yeah, sorry about that noise. That's my stooge neighbour. And then we've got some Faster Pussycat, some David Bowie. But it's amazing what amount of money some of these are going for these days. Like really, really ridiculous. Like this Shaboosh bar is probably in the vicinity of $75 with the poster even ripped. So there's a lot of good money to be made, and I need to do a lot more research, but it's definitely something worth looking at. So if you're ever out looking at secondhand records, look out for posters inside, look out for sheet music or the lyric music sheet. Anyway, there's my collection for the day. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.